Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. It's time for us to take a look at another Studio Series figure. And we're going to take a look at one that I've been holding off on for quite a while now. This is Leadfoot. And for those of you that have been with the channel for a while, you may remember I picked Leadfoot up at Pete's Robot Convention here last year. Yes, during the pandemic, I was able to at least go to a convention. It was fun to get out of the house for a few days, believe me. It was definitely fun to go be down there in Louisville, Kentucky, staying at the Galt House Hotel, and being able to pick up Transformers like Leadfoot here. Now, of course, when he was on the shelves originally, Leadfoot was an exclusive to Target stores, due to him obviously being a Target-sponsored NASCAR vehicle. Leadfoot is one of the characters that was featured in the third of Michael Bay's films, Dark of the Moon. All of the wreckers that appeared in that film all had alternate modes that turned them into NASCAR vehicles. So evidently the world of NASCAR felt they needed to get involved in the Transformers universe, and they allowed some of their vehicles to be used, or at least stylized versions of their vehicles would appear on the film. Which, of course, meant they could be made into toys. Now, of course, not all of the Leadfoot figures were Target exclusives. The biggest way to tell is to inspect the chest area. If it does have the Target logo on there, this toy was obviously sold at Target stores exclusively. However, there are a few of the toys that did not possess the Target symbol on them, and that meant that, of course, they could be sold at other retailers. So let's face it, there's no way a Walmart store would carry a toy showing off the logo of one of their competitors. And of course here, like all the studio figures, he comes with a display backdrop. It's intended to be downtown Chicago. Scene of the final battle featured in Dark of the Moon. And it looks pretty good. It's got a city in devastation, although it could probably pass for the unnamed city featured in the original Transformers film just as well, but I think this is probably definitely more meant to be Chicago. At any rate, let's get it out of the way, and we'll bring Leadfoot back in. And we'll definitely point out here on the box, one feature that should be noted. Yes, it is an official General Motors product license, since it is a Chevy Impala, and it also has the NASCAR logo, so it is an official product of NASCAR as well. So how do you like that? At any rate, Leadfoot here includes a fair amount of accessories, which we're going to take a look at here in a moment. We'll start off with the bonus figure that he comes with. This is apparently supposed to be Steeljaw, but instead it just looks like some stupid-looking dog with exhaust pipes sticking out his back. And, of course, as is typical for any of these any of the studio figures that include a bonus figure, it has limited articulation, and in this case, Steeljaw has none. He's a static figure. So we'll set him aside. Next up, we have these pieces here. These are a set of missiles. They're done up in a bunch of 3. And, of course, as you can see, they're staggered in a different direction. Now, these are meant to attach to his forearms, but I tried doing that, and it turned out to be quite a pain to get them to go on. They more kept wanting to pop off on mine, so I just decided, to heck with it, I'm not fighting with it all day. But that just means that if it's like that on all Leadfoots, he's going to be a pain to keep with all the pieces displayed. Good thing I've held on to the plastic for the interior of the box. Of course, I had to damage it slightly to get the next accessory out. And that would be these two machine guns. He's got a right and a left machine gun. They're both pretty much in the same shape. Well, the one thing that I like about them is that they do have nice detail for their size. I mean, you got small holes here in the front for the air cooling, and you got a belt of bullets along the side. That's a nice detail. It's a very nice detail. Of course, if you're somebody that's not into violent robot toys, you may not like that, but if you're not into violent robot toys, you probably aren't watching this channel. And then, of course, the last accessory we have here is attached to his shoulder. It is a stylized minigun, or Gatling gun, however you wish to refer to it. Of course, there is a video that I just saw recently that showed that Hollywood and video games, not surprisingly, depict this gun incorrectly in a lot of cases. But of course, let's face it, probably the most iconic use of this gun in real life was in the movie Predator, when you see Jesse Ventura and Bill Duke using it in the hopes of gunning down not only gorillas, but the alien creature as well. At any rate, this one is also nicely detailed. You do get to see the different barrels. The front end of it isn't the greatest. You can just barely make out the 6 holes in it that line up. So all in all, it's not too bad, but it does look pretty good. And then that, of course, leads us to our friend Leadfoot here. Let's take a look at his articulation. His head can be moved a bit, but in the position it's a bit of a pain for my fat fingers to do it. But we can turn his head from left to right, and it does rock up and down a little bit. Although if you take a close-up look at his head, it does look like he's wearing sunglasses. His arm can be raised out about so far, and it does rotate at the shoulder all the way around. He does have a joint at the elbow, so it does allow his arm to bend 90 degrees. And he also has a swivel at the bicep, so he does have G.I. Joe-style battle grip. There is also a hinge at his wrist that allows you to move the hand a little bit, but it's more meant for transforming him than actual articulation. There is no way to twist him at the hip. He does not have that joint. His legs can be spread apart into a full splits. It's very stiff on him. But of course, his legs are also attached by a ball joint, as you can see in there, so it does allow you to get his legs in all sorts of odd positions. There we go. Get the legs back to where they're supposed to be. His legs, unfortunately, do not raise up when in the one position, but when they're spread out to the side, the legs do raise up about 90 degrees, and you can bend his leg at the knee just about 90 degrees. So he does have a fair amount of articulation on him, although it could be better. Okay, now, to transform Leadfoot, first thing we got to do is kind of straighten him out a little bit so that he's doesn't look like he's leaned over. That's better. Now, for starters, we take the front end of him and we're going to fold it down and open like so. Then we got to adjust things here by we take his head and we fold it down ever so slightly. Then we're going to take the side windows here that are on near his head and fold them in like so. Then you can rotate this entire section down and around. Then once that's into position, we can get the target symbol to fold into place and fully form the hood of the car. The next we come down here to his legs. You definitely want to make sure that the joints are in all the way sideways, like so. Then you're going to take the claws for his feet and you're going to push them upwards so that they're kind of level with the tires here. And then we fold the legs inward at the kneecap like so. Then we're going to turn him around to his backside and we're going to fold up his back. It'll also move the arms, so we'll kind of shift the arms out of the way here. Because then the next thing we need to do is we need to fold out this hidden piece from inside his back so that it is out. Just fold it out all the way. Then we're going to come back here to his legs, and we're going to put the legs together. So that way it helps hold them together. Then you're going to take the leg section and we fold it upwards, like so. But you don't connect it yet. The first thing we need to do is we got to come up here to the front and we got to connect the hood of the car to the windshield, just exactly like that. Then now with that connected and secured, we can come back here. So I'm going to fold him down here for a second. There's a couple of posts. Get your feet out of the way. Right in here on this engine detail. And those little posts should connect in to these little hole slots here, just beyond his knees. Legs may pop free, but that's okay. You can just get it in position and then reconnect them together. And then that should work out just fine. Then now once we've done that, you're going to take his hands. You'll fold his hands inwards, like so. And you rotate the arms at the shoulder so that it brings the number 42 down. Then we rotate them at the elbow so it puts this panel here up to the side. And then we rotate them in under the car. And these posts here should connect into the hubs, into the fender area rather, near the NASCAR logo. There we go. Just snap it into place. Allergy season, folks. Gotta love it. And then there we have it. Leadfoot is in his NASCAR Chevy Impala version. Of course, he's got a couple of Cybertronian turbine engines here on the back. Not sure that's entirely legal in NASCAR standards, but hey, that works. Whatever works. Now, of course, the weapons that he comes with can be mounted onto the car as well. So let's see how well that works. The minigun attaches here to the top. The belt-fed machine guns apparently connect here, right above the driver's compartment. Come on, don't do this to me. There we go, and then the missiles can attach here onto the hood of the car. Well, we just about launched that halfway across the room. Kind of good thing I don't have little kids or animals in here. There we go. An armed NASCAR vehicle. Yeah, maybe that might make NASCAR more interesting. If the cars actually came with missiles and machine guns on them, maybe that'd make the race a little more exciting. It just brings to mind the old Car Wars games from back in the day, but I like it. So now we get down to my thoughts. What do I think of Leadfoot? Well, Leadfoot is a mixed bag, to say the least, for me. I mean, obviously I'm having a lot of fun here with the car mode, especially with the fact that all the weapons can be mounted onto it. So, I'm having a lot of fun with this mode. The robot mode, it's okay. What else can you say about it with it being one of the super hyper realistic things that Michael Bay insisted upon? That's always been a divisive thing amongst Transformer fans. But seeing as Leadfoot is an original character, it isn't as bad since we don't have another character to compare him to. So, that one kind of gets a pass, but I still think it could have been done a little bit better. As I said, I'm not happy with the fact the missiles are a pain to attach to the robot mode. So, that's also a point against it, and also I don't really care for the little static figure. Like I said, they say it's supposed to be Steeljaw, but I ain't in favor of that. But if you can manage to track yourself down a lockdown, unfortunately, since he's been phased out, you'll have to buy him not at a Target store. Is he worth having on your shelf? Well, if you're a NASCAR fan, you may like having him around, like the other wreckers. But if it's not your thing, it's probably not going to impress you any. Of course, if you're wondering, how does he roll? Almost as good as a real NASCAR. At any rate, that's my review of Leadfoot from Dark of the Moon. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please also remember that we'd like you, that if you haven't already, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel, especially if you like the content that this channel provides to you. This is Sparkster1701 saying I'll catch you all later.